Welcome back to day 25 of Learning Python. We are going to learn about function arguments and return values. In the last video, we talked about function. We understood how function work and we got very good understanding. Let's now explore function even further. Okay, I will just create a file. Okay, I will define a simple function now. Def add a comma b semicolon return as a plus b. Okay, now we want to print the added value, so I will take 3 comma 5 maybe, and I will print the c. Okay, this is very simple piece of code. If I run this, as we saw in the earlier videos, 8 is printed. Okay, so how is this exactly work? When I write add 3 comma 5, the value of 3 is assigned to a and 5 is assigned to b temporarily. So these values are passed to a and b, then it returns a plus b, then it returns a plus b, then this value which is 8 return back. I can also do something like x is equal to a plus b, x plus b, and maybe just I can return x just for understanding purpose. And if I try to run, we can see the 8 value. Okay, so these are the two ways we can write it. And now this a and b is called as parameters. Okay, these are the parameters, and these are the arguments in technical terms. The value which are actually passed called arguments, and this called parameters. You can see that when I hover over that, you can see parameter mentioned by VS Code. Okay, 3 and 5 is arguments. The difference is that 3 and 5 are real values which are being passed and which the computation will take place, and a and b are simply the variable names. So these are called parameters. Okay, now let's talk about arguments. Different type of arguments now. First one is positional argument. Positional arguments are what we are saw in earlier, the a and b. The values are passed in like in the order or in the sequence. The best example was the a and b, a plus b, what we created earlier. Okay, default arguments. Default arguments. What are default arguments? Default arguments have default value and they are optional. Let me show you to you by example. Maybe let me create a argument called as plus equal to 0. Okay, so when I'm returning the value of x, whenever I'm computing this adding method, let's say for some weird reason I want to add a plus b plus and plus. Okay, let's say we want to return this. If we normally run this program, it will run, but if you have this argument as a positional argument, it will throw an error because it will the value will be passed on sequence order. But in this case, we have default argument. It will not expect that as argument, right? You don't have to necessarily pass the value. Plus is a optional here, so it's totally optional. Let's say if I pass the value which is non-zero, what will happen? The value will be overridden. Okay, before that I will just run this one. You can see 8 is printed. Now if I try to override, maybe I'll mention 2. Let's see. Yeah, see that number 10 is printed. So the value of plus is overridden now because we have passed the value of plus. Since we have passed the value of plus, this value will be taken into account. This value will be added to 8. A plus b plus plus. Okay, then the value of c going to be 10, then this will be added to 8 then. So that's how default arguments work. Default arguments are optional. You can either use the use a value to override them, and you have to make sure that you have to put this value at the very end of positional argument. Okay, that's something you need to take note of. Let's now talk about keyword arguments. Okay, so what are keyword arguments in this case? Let us say for some reason I want to pass the value of b before value of a. Now this is not something that you will see a lot of times. Let's say instead of passing 3 and 5 in order, I want to pass 5 and 3. So what I will do is b equal to 5 and a equal to 3. Okay, I will just remove the default argument. Since I have mentioned which value is which, I can write them in any order. I have a and a, b and c. I can either say b is equal to 5, a is equal to 3 and c is equal to some number, or c is equal to 0. Any order I can print. So what will happen is, so whenever I am making the call like this, it's called keyword arguments. So it should be one of the name, age or whatever parameter this function has. In this case, it has 2 parameters. Okay. So we have to pass the, here if I take an example, I have printed name and age first, but while mentioning the argument, I have mentioned the age then name. So it doesn't matter. So that's about arguments. I hope you are enjoying these videos. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos. See you in next video.